Hello,
Oh,
teachers. Welcome to the space science training for District 6 and all teachers in Nigeria. They are joining us from anywhere in the country or outside the country. We are delighted to have you in here. I have Mr. Antonio from Brazil. He's an English teacher and he's going to be sharing with us. So, Mr. Antonio, you have the floor.
o- okay. It's nice to talk to you, people from Nigeria. It was a great moment being with the teachers from your country during the Limitless meeting in July. So I'm very honored to be here to introduce you a project that everybody can do it. It depends only on your passion through education. I have been an English teacher and science teacher. Imagine I teach the two subjects. I have been this teacher for 40 years. It's a long time. So what I'm going to present to you is something that I had the idea when I was an ambassador at Space Camp in the USA in 2017. And I apply here in Brazil, and it's up to you. You can apply anywhere. It depends only, again, on your passion and your true love for education. Okay. I'm going to share my screen with you to show the project. That's it. So this is the name of my project. The name is Conheciencia. I joined two words from Portuguese. Conhecer, that in English is to know, and ciência, that is science. To know science, then the name is Conheciencia in Portuguese. What is the idea of this project? This is a brief history. After I came back from the United States, I had the idea that we should give opportunity of teaching science to all the kids in my city. And I work for a private institution. And in my city, we have many kids working, studying, sorry, in public education. And most of them, they have no possibilities of having access to science. So based on this, I created the project. What is this? Basically, I challenge my students and the teachers that work with me to bring science for those who had no chance of learning. This is the beginning of Conheciencia. This is the moment I start talking to the students. I challenge the students, say, who wants to be a volunteer with me? And then this was the original group that decided to start Conheciencia. It was really amazing. This was the first school we chose in the outskirts of the city in a very poor environment. Then there was the first meeting we had with the principal. We start telling the principal, hey, can we do a project here? My students, this is the most important thing. You teachers, you are just a mentor. The real teachers are your students. They will form a chain of knowledge. They will teach everything based on what they learn, and they're going to teach the kids there. With this, we start, look how many students I had. In the beginning, we start teaching physics and chemistry and biology. These were just my students that were volunteer in physics. And this is the first group of kids we taught. It was amazing because in this picture, there was a guy that said, hey, teacher, if you return to NASA, can you take our picture with you? I could never imagine I would return to NASA. And then I said, okay, I'm going to take your picture with me. So what is the project? Take a look at it. If you see here in this picture, you don't see me, Antonio Marcio, teaching. You see my students, the volunteer students teaching. They are the master of education here. How this works, I propose some topics, and what is important, I don't give the topics for them. They have to research. So I give them some sites, basically NASA. I will use a lot from nasa.gov, where we can have a lot of space activities for them to use it. My students, they have to learn and prepare to teach the kids, the poor kids. They have to give them hope. they have to teach them how to do hands-on activity. So as you can see in all this, they are the teachers. With this, we transform in activity number one, the hands-on. These students in yellow t-shirts are the public schools we teach. As you can see, everything is so practical. Our students learn, they get the idea, they share the idea, they're the mentors like this. Analyze this picture. Everything is hands-on. They teach the kids, and this was transformed in a very big science fair. Those are the topics. They're in Portuguese, I'm sorry, but we touch light, space, friction, optics, velocity, gravity, thermology, volcanoes, nutrition, all the things that the kids 10 years old, 9 years old would learn, but they would learn hands-on. And this was transformed in a very nice science fair. These are my mentors. They dress like scientists. This gives them, you can imagine how this gives power to the kids. They know that they are changing the society. And then they, with a group of students in yellow that they touch, were 41 volunteer students in the first year and 25 students helped it. As you can see, look, everything hands-on. Then in 2019, we adopted 2 schools. We were very happy, so let's adopt 2 schools. This is Launet, one school. It's me dressed like an astronaut because as we dress like an astronaut, we can give inspiration for the kids. And the second school, Teodomiro, where we touch. Again, this was transformed again in a class, my students teaching them, transform again in a science fair. Look, the number of volunteers increased, the number of students learning increased. This was really amazing. More pictures of the fair. It was really great. Then 2020, we were very prepared for more challenges. Let's adopt 4 schools. 4 schools were ready. We would help 150 students. We would teach 150 students. Look at my number of volunteers. And another thing, the students are volunteers. They have no grade. They don't receive presence or absence. They go with their heart. They use a Friday to teach. But we were not expecting this. And this came and say, it was a kind of saying to us, stop now, because the world has stopped it. And what we do, we just sit and leave those kids without learning. Then we create a channel. This is an activity that you teachers from Nigeria, you can have. We could not go to the kids because of COVID, but we could teach them through internet. So we create our channel, and it's very easy for you to create it. It's called Conhecência à Distância, mean distance knowledge of science. The moment that we discovered this, the vice mayor of my city wants to do a live with us. Wow, you are creating something for the kids, even being COVID. Yes, we are ready to. Look, this is our channel. And what you can observe, there is no Antonio Marcio in the videos. The videos were created by the students. This is the most important thing you can have in your mind. Your students, they are the leading actors of the process. Then I propose the students, we create a channel, we record a lesson, a practical lesson for them to have during COVID. We were on the news, channels started interviewing us because it was something that, look, students from private schools record classes for the public school students during COVID. We got a little famous. We were in 2 channels on television. And this is an example of a lesson created by a student. Then there is, the students talk about, very simple. Look how much we produce it. We produce it in 2 months, 8 classes, 27 classes of science, 12 of math, 17 of history, 12 of geography, and 12 classes English. Who are the teachers? I insist, students. Students teach students. This is the real process. Then during the COVID, this is a lesson 2 for you. You can do a science fair. You can create a channel. Your students will love to create the videos to teach the other ones. 2021, almost the end of COVID, we decided that we could continue teaching, but we couldn't go to school yet because of the COVID. So I proposed to my students, let's produce science kit. Why science kit? I don't know if it's the same reality in Nigeria, but in the end of COVID, the students couldn't go to the public schools, but the schools had to provide food for the kids. So every 15 days, the parents would go to the school to get the food to take home because most of them were hungry. Then what I decided, let's create the science kit and put at the door of the schools. So when the parents come, they get a kit, they take home, and the kids have something to do during this year of COVID. This is what we call Conhecência em Cordel. Look, we produce it. We, when I say we, know my students, the volunteers, 107 kids, 60 volunteers. Look, all the materials for them to work with science. We helped 140 students. How was it? Look, the kids were hanging on a wire. The kids arrive or their parents would come, take one kit and take home. Look, this lady here is working with the solar system. So they had a lesson. The students create a lesson plan. They gave the materials, though they had something to do at the end of COVID. This was activity number 3 for you. You want to make kits? You want to spread the kids take it and they can take science home. Look how happy they were. This is at the door of the schools. They could get the kids. So for you to remember, first, something that would be a science fair, students teaching students, topics, lesson plans for NASA. 2, we can create a channel where your students can be the master. 3, you can produce kits to distribute for the ones. Then in 2022, what is another idea? This is the president of our Brazilian agency. He sent us a message, but this is in Portuguese, just for you to know that you need support. And these teachers, another advice for you. Me as a teacher in Brazil, I can't depend on everything. I have to run. I have to run to get things for my process. And then I'm not ashamed to knock on the doors of authorities, of people that are, this man here is the president of Brazilian Space Agency. How I found him, I searched in Google, I searched the telephone of the agency. I phoned them. You don't know me. I'm a teacher. I want your support. So don't worry. Go for it. This is what you have to do. Then this is not for you to see. This is a video for it. Then I want to show that science is fun. So this is activity number 4. Then what is activity number 4? We decided that we want to show the students that science can be fun. So this year we transformed in a funny Conhecência. This is the name in Portuguese. Look at my students. This time they produce a show, a science show. Again, who is the actor of the process? Our students. They teach the others. We can't do this anymore. We don't have the power only on us. The students have the power, and the students listen better other students because they are most of their age. We talk about many things. We started teaching science in a very funny way. Look, my volunteers again in 2022, take a look at how to get electricity from the potatoes, how to make a kind of pH reaction, how to talk about magnetism, everything funny. The students made a great show. This is some pictures of the moment we used to go to the schools. So activity 4, you can make one project of transform science in a fun moment for the ones learning. 2023, it was time for space. So we decided that we could have hands-on activities, but just connect with space. what we decided to do, we transforming Consciência Espacial or Space Consciência. These were my volunteers from last year. And the first activity that I proposed for you teachers, they had to create a mission patch. Each group of students had a mission, like rowing on the moon, modeling solar system, touchdown, eggnog, and the group of students, they had a patch. This is a great activity for you to use with your students. It involves drawing, art, research. So take a look at each group had his own patch because we were talking about space. 11 missions. How was it? I don't know if you could see this video, but it's very simple. Yeah. This is how we spend our afternoons. Teachers, students, teaching the other kids. All space activities.
Wow.
And the most important, how it works. I just give them the site, nasa.gov. I propose in a Google Drive the list of sites that they have to choose. Hey, here are the projects you can choose. They form a group of students. They choose the topic they want to work. I give them 2 months for them to prepare, and then let's start. Let's talk about it. Okay. Then this is what we do. This is what we try to do, creating hands-on. And Oluwabanke and me, we are part of the Limitless Institute. This is a great opportunity that they are giving us to give opportunities for students in Nigeria and Brazil to get better at science.
Awesome. Thank you so much. This is fantastic.
I say thank you for this opportunity. Okay. And if you need, I have everything, the drive with the project, I can send you for you to use with your teachers. I have the drive. This year now, Lobanki, space was last year. This year, we are working Maker. It's Consciência Maker. My students, they are going through the schools this year, but we are producing science using just recyclable materials. Awesome. So it's not space this year. Every year, we have to put our minds to, let's be creative. And the most important, what you and your teachers have to have in mind. I am an English teacher, but I'm a science teacher. So you teachers, English teachers that are watching me, you can reinvent yourself. You can use the power of your language of English and bring the students together with you. If you don't know how to talk about science, propose other activities. But the most important, we have to inspire our students to go for it. They are the true leading roles of the process.
Awesome. Awesome. Fantastic. I am glad that we share this in common. I don't go to class and start talking, telling them everything I know. I just tell them the topic. I tell them the learning objectives, divide them into groups. They work it out, they present to me, and I learn from them. So this is the way to go. Thank you so much.
Perfect.
Thank you so much.
I say thank you for you. Can I make a print of with you here? Let me just share the screen just for you to show that I was here with you. Just a second, because this is very important for us.
Yeah, I like that with the astronaut there.
Which one?
The one. Okay, let's have the one with the students and their mission patches.
Okay, the mission patch. Okay.
This one. Yeah, this one.
Yeah. Okay, let me just give a print here and I'm send you. Okay. Perfect. That was nice for me to share with everybody here in Brazil. And it's a pleasure to be with you. It's a great moment. You can count on me anytime.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And we're going to take this to our teachers and we will have them reproduce this in their classrooms and we can reach more students. We can inspire more students. And the sky is just the beginning. The stars are just the beginning.
Uh-huh.
Thank you so much.
And no, Lua Bank, it was something that I learned that is normally when I do my lectures, I learned something very, when I met a very great man at NASA. His name was, oh my God, so many people that I met. Jerry Woodfield, also, so many names. Jerry Woodfield, he had been a NASA engineer for more than 4 years, a great man. He was responsible for Apollo 13. When you listen to that sentence, Houston have a problem. He was the one that had to help rescue the astronauts. He was my friend. And every time I invite him to talk to my students, he said, okay, Antonio, I can do some lectures for you. Unfortunately, he died last year, 83 years old. But I learned something with him that I always want to tell your teachers about it. There was a day that he was talking to my students in Brazil, and one student asked him, Mr. Woodfield, how do you feel being a celebrity in the United States, talking to the president, a legend in space? And he said, I don't care about being a legend. One day, the creator is going to call me, as called him last year. And when he called me, he's going to ask, Jerry, what did you do with the gifts I gave you? Then I'm going to tell my creator, I shared. So this is my aim. Share with everybody. And what you're doing is this. This is a great thing you're doing. You are using your gift to share with other teachers in Nigeria. So you can send my WhatsApp number, my Instagram, my contact. I am here to support and to exchange with you experience. You and all the teachers from Nigeria that want. If we do this, the world would be a better place.
Yes.
You and me, we are teachers, we are parents. We know that our kids need in this world. So this is what we're here for.
Thank you so much. I
My
was
pleasure.
close to tears because
Imagine. So thank you so much for this opportunity.
My passion. I mean,
okay.
I came back and I'm like, I just need to share this to as many people as possible. Thank you so much for your time. We're grateful. We appreciate you. If anyone has questions, I'm going to compile the questions and then we can communicate. Yeah.
Sure, you can send me. And one day, if you want to contact me in a class for me to talk to your students, just next week, if you're going to be busy because we're going to Natal, we're limitless. But the others, you just set a time for me. I can talk to your students.
Yes, so that was Mr. Antonio, an English teacher from Brazil. And I hope you've learned a thing or two. This is not just restricted to English teachers or English teachers only, it cuts across. So if you have any questions, feel free to chat me up on WhatsApp or leave a message beneath the comment section and we'll get to you. All right, so I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.